Nicomedes Marquez Joaquin, we also know him as Nick Joaquin, a famous national artist of the Philippines. He became actually famous with his pseudonym Quijano de Manila, and his date of birth is on May 4 or September 17, 1917. Now, we are not sure about his date of birth since Nicomedes, apart from being really shy, he values privacy a lot. So he's private with his birth date. He doesn't want people going into his house and greeting him or giving him a surprise birthday party, things like that. Now his place of birth is on Paco, Manila, and he was born into a family of means. His father is a lawyer while his mom is a teacher. Now, his date of passing is on April 29, 2004, and he was then 86 years old at San Juan, Manila, and he was interred at the Libingan ng mga Bayani, where we commonly see, where it's a custom for national artists to be interred in the Libingan ng mga Bayani. He went to Paco Elementary School and then transferred to Mapa High School for his higher education. But then he dropped out of school at the age of 12. I think it was on his freshman year. Much to his mother's dismay, since she herself is an educator, but she still supported her son's plans outside of school. Despite dropping out of school, Nick Joaquin is an avid reader. He sometimes do chores while reading and run some errands, still clutching his book on his left hand. So he was exposed to reading at the age of 10. He is fond of reading, and it was one of the signs that he will be a great person with fondness or passion for literature. Now, after dropping out of high school, his first job was an assistant in a bakery in Pasay City. Now, after that, when he was 17, he published his first poem. It's about Don Quixote. Now, this is a funny story because when it was published on Tribune, he was supposed to have his pay for that poem. Now, Nick Joaquin, being the shy person that he was, he forgot to get he ran away and forgot to get his pay for the poem. Now, on the succeeding year 1937, he published The Sorrows of Vaudeville. It's a short story. In 1943, he published his essay La Naval de Manila, which became a way for him to gain a scholarship with the Dominican monastery in Hong Kong. Now, his parents fully supported him going into Hong Kong because they are very religious and they have long dreamed for Nick to be able to go into the monastery. Now, after Hong Kong, he returned, and his first job was a proofreader for the Philippines Free Press. And this Philippine Free Press was the reigning or the number one in creative writing and political commentary. Now, he became famous under his pseudonym Quijano de Manila, which Quijano is an anagram for his surname Joaquin. Now, he is also famous for being the historian of the brief golden age of Spain in the Philippines. This can be noticed on his works where he tackled about with a bit of Christianity and everything that we have inherited from the Spaniards. Now, with this, he received numerous awards and continued his passion in writing, still with Philippines Free Press. His works were May Day Eve, 1947, Prose and Poems, 1952, The House of Zapote Street, 1966, The Woman Who Had Two Navels, and The Summer Solstice. Now, most of these famous works has been made when he was still under in Philippine Free Press. Now, the last two won, the woman who had two navels in the summer solstice, wasn't just famous in our country but also internationally. Now, these works also became his huge leverage into gaining the National Artist Award. But then when he was conferred of the award, or the government is giving him the award, he tried to decline because the year 1970s was very tumultuous for the journalists, and they are being it's either they're being kidnapped or arrested without warrants and things like that. And it so happens that he has this friend, Jose Lacaba, who got arrested. He's a co-journalist, and that's what triggers Nick not to accept the National Artist Award. But then his friends and family actually encouraged him to take it because it can also be a leverage for Lacaba to be freed from prison, which is so true because a year after he got the award, Lacaba was indeed released from prison.